I embarrassed my husband for saying I baby trapped him. So my husband Blake has been going around telling everyone I baby trapped him since our daughter was born last month. It started with small comments to his buddies at work, then his family, and finally he said it right in front of my parents at dinner last week. I was getting fed up. The thing is, we'd been together for 4 years when I got pregnant. We lived together, had been talking about getting married, and he was the one who brought up wanting kids first. We weren't even trying, but we weren't exactly being super careful either. When I told him I was pregnant, he seemed happy at first. He hugged me and everything. But then his friends started making jokes about how he was trapped now, and suddenly he was running with it, like it was some big joke that I'd somehow tricked him into this. He'd laugh and say stuff like, "Yeah, she really got me good," whenever someone mentioned the baby. It was driving me crazy because I knew he wanted this too. We'd literally looked at baby stuff together before I even got pregnant. He picked out the crib. He was excited about teaching our kid to ride bikes and play baseball. But now he was acting like I'd ruined his life or something. Last weekend we were at his cousin's barbecue and I was talking to his aunt about the baby when I heard him across the yard telling a group of guys how I baby trapped his ass. And now he was stuck for life. Everyone was laughing, and one guy even said, "That's why you gotta be careful, man." I snapped. I walked right over to that group and said really loudly, "Hey Blake, remember when you threw out my birth control pills because you said you wanted to start a family? Remember when you literally begged me to have your babies like 6 months ago? Remember when you cried happy tears when we found out the gender?" The whole yard went quiet. Blake's face turned bright red and all his buddies were staring at him. His cousin's wife covered her mouth trying not to laugh. Then I kept going. "Oh, and remember when you picked out the baby name? And when you told your mom you couldn't wait to be a dad? And when you bought that stupid Dad's First Father's Day shirt in February before I was even showing?" Blake was just standing there looking like he wanted to disappear. One of his friends was like, "Dude, you threw out her birth control?" And another guy was shaking his head. I finished with, "So if anyone got baby trapped here, it was me by a man who couldn't shut up about wanting kids, and then decided to play victim when he got exactly what he asked for." Then I grabbed my purse and left. Blake had to get a ride home from his cousin because I took our car. He didn't talk to me for 2 days after that. When he finally did, he was mad that I humiliated him in front of everyone. I told him I was tired of him humiliating me by acting like our daughter was some kind of trap I set instead of the baby we both wanted. His mom called me yesterday and said she was glad someone finally called him out because she was getting sick of hearing him complain about being trapped when he'd been calling her every week for months before I got pregnant asking when she thought I'd be ready to have kids. Turns out he'd been telling his whole family we were trying to get pregnant. So now everyone knows he was just trying to look cool in front of his buddies by acting like a victim.